YouTube, there is no firearms in this video.
Welcome back to the Low-Key Airgunner YouTube channel. In this episode, we will be unboxing a Barra 1866 CO2 version from AirGunSource Canada. First, let's get it out of the box and then I will read a few informations from the website. By the way, shipping from AirGunSource is always the best, super fast, super well done, so you can trust them for that for sure. It seems like they also sent me CO2 and pellets, a nice box to act as a spacer so nothing rattles in there. Hopefully there's nothing in it. And now, the bigger box. The box seems already open. It has been sent to me for review. Hopefully the stuff is still where it should be in the box. But yeah, first let's take a look at the extras that they sent me with it. I got 30 Umarex CO2 cartridge. I never tried those. It will be interesting to just compare, I guess. Again, you can trust AirGunSource with shipping, even for pellets. By the way, this is the .22 caliber version of this rifle. So he sent me some .22 caliber JTS dead center 16.08 grains. I never tried those. That will be interesting. Thank you to AirGunSource for that. I think that this box had a rough life before, but I'm not sure that it happened during this shipping. So maybe he sent me one that had the most trouble just because I'm there to review it and I'm not an actual customer. I never had anything like that when I paid for stuff. Let's take a quick look at the box. Out here they say Barra Airguns 1866 CO2. Out here they say that they claim 410 FPS in .22 caliber, which is less than I've seen yet in reviews, so we will try that, I guess. I assume that this is the gold version because it is also available in a black blued version. Basically, it is kind of a golden boy replica with ejecting shells, so that's kind of cool. On the other side of the box, you have a little bit more info. They say that it takes 2 CO2 cartridge. There is flip-up sights, and that's about it for that. But there is also other infos right there, but I will not read that because that will get very repetitive. Right there, they tell you that there is a 1-year warranty from Barra Airguns, and I assume that there is at least a 30-day warranty from AirGunSource. Now, let's open that box. I don't know if that's exactly how you get it usually, but that's a pretty simple but effective packaging. It seems to be pretty stiff in there. Maybe the box is a bit, I don't know if that's supposed to be 3 parts. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but other than that, that's a pretty cool box. This is pretty interesting. Basically, they say that you will get a free gift when you write an honest review at Barra Airguns. So that's interesting. On the other side, they tell you about the warranty. I believe that you need to register it online within 30 days. I don't know why they make you do that nowadays. If you have your receipt and you can prove that it is not 1 year old, should be good enough. But do that. I will take stuff out of the box so you don't have to look at a cardboard box for the whole video, and then we will talk about it. Alright, I know that the lighting is not the best because it is a rainy day, but it is the best day for me to do that and keep the nice summer days that are left to actually use it. Yet the first thing that I can tell is that it is pretty heavy. It feels like a rifle. Another thing that I can tell is that the plastic stock does look like wood. I mean, it is, if you look really close, you can tell, but I mean, from this distance, you barely can. The safety seems to be the opposite of what I would have thought. Basically, if you flip it down on the S side, it shows red, so I don't know. And you flip it up on the F side, it does show a white dot. Curious. I don't know if that's me, but I don't really care, but that's funny to me. This is straight out of the box, but before I continue, I want to wipe it down a bit with Ballistol, which is also available at AirGunSource. This stuff will work on pretty much any materials and will bring the shine back and make it look very good. So let's see what it does on this one. I will let you see it one last time. before. I usually wipe the excess off with a microfiber just so it is clean, nicely oiled, nice and shiny but not greasy for my fingers. Alright, so I don't know if you can see a difference with the after, but I think I can. It is always very important to protect your metal parts after touching them with greasy fingers, and tell that to the guy who touched it. The gold part is not perfect. You can tell that someone touched it with fingers and did not clean it after, but I think that this gives it a bit of a weathered look and it's pretty good. I like how it shoulders it. I don't know who did that, but you know, if you want to keep it nice, make sure to oil it every time you use it. I personally kind of like that because it looks wetter now, and that's the kind of rifle that you will bring on a ranch, on a horse, and just do your thing on the farm. Anyways, let's move to the description on AirGunSource Canada. The 1866 is our newest flagship .22 rifle, and based on the legendary lever action of the Old West, it is powered with 2 CO2 cylinders and fires pellets in realistic fashion with ejecting cartridge while cycling the lever. Product description: .22 caliber, 450 FPS, lever action with ejecting shells, repeater, rifled barrel, internal tube magazine with 10-shot capacity. They do say interchangeable barrels sold separately, but I believe this is not available in Canada due to the FPS limit. The .177 BBN pellet must be over 500 FPS, so yeah. The receiver is metal. It is a synthetic stock with wood grain, which is really nice. It really looks like wood, honestly. There is a fixed front post sight and a flip up rear iron sight. I believe that none of those are adjustable. This is a bit the downside of this rifle. It has a manual and grip safety, so I assume that if you don't put the lever back on all the way, it doesn't work. Oh, I think I just discovered that this is a safety. You need to pinch that for it to work. We will try that together, I guess. They do include the 10 metal pellet cartridge with it. There is a removable Picatinny optic rail on it if you don't like the sights or just want to be able to adjust your optic. It uses 2 12-gram CO2 cartridge. The barrel length is 18 inches. The total length is 38.5 inches and it weighs about 6.5 pounds. Operation: the CO2 1866 is powered by 2 CO2 cartridges that are loaded in the butt stock. Load .22 cal pellets into the shells and load 10 of them into your rifle. From there, your 1866 functions like a real lever action, my boy. Golden boy. The Co2 1866 features a flip-up iron sights for engaging targets up close to far out. We will test that. I'm really curious with the .22 cal barrel because it is also made to shoot .77 BBs and pellets, so that will be interesting. It also includes a removable Picatinny rail, so you can install a micro red dot or choose to keep things authentic with just the iron sights. Additional barrels are available, probably not in Canada. The included barrel is rifled, optimized for shooting pellets. Materials: the Co2 1866 has a metal barrel shroud and receiver. The stock is made from a quality polymer and features a highly realistic wood grain pattern, and that's true. I really like it. Swag. The Co2 1866 was inspired by the classic lever action repeaters of the American West. With its classic style and realistic repeating action, the Co2 866 allows you to experience a bit of its unique time in history for yourself. Basically, you can have fun doing stuff. Cowboy, my boy. Crank that thing. I don't know how it works, so let me figure it out first. Oh, so if you put it on safety, you cannot open that? Now let's read the only review from John on the website.
Got my new 866 today. Wow, as advertised, much better than my legendary Humorex thingy. Okay, my boy, pretty accurate at 30 feet. Elbows on the table. Best round was 2-inch group with JSB match. Ejector is a little stiff, but I'm sure it will ease up with time and use. I have the .177 barrel, which I will try next. Overall, I have to say excellent piece of workmanship. Looks really good. 5-star for me.
Where he got this barrel? He seems to like it. I'm not sure if he do have the .177 barrel in Canada. If he does, get me one. Anyways, I want to unbox the little shells just because they look cool, but after that we will move on to the instruction and stuff just to see what they tell you in there. I believe that those are the same pellet cartridges as the Schofield. Maybe I could tell that better if I did not rip that apart before looking at it. So at the first look, they look pretty good. They are not polished, but you will drop them on the ground multiple times anyways, so I don't think you care about that. They are silver. I thought they would be gold for some reason, maybe brass color or whatever. I don't know if that's a thing, but yeah. And then you seem to have a pretty nice little rubber thingy looking thing in there to hold your pellets, and that's about it. Giving you a plastic bag that you can actually close after that would be pretty good, but other than that, it's whatever. I guess you could leave them in the gun if there is no spring, but I assume there is one, so you might not want to do that for too long. I could try to put them in, but I did not read the instruction manual, so I need to do that first because I'm a responsible owner. By the way, Barra is Bear River, aka the dudes that made the Black Ops brake barrel that a lot of people liked for some reasons. Out here they say made in Taiwan, but it is sold by Moab, which is in Arizona, I believe, AR. By the way, CO2 is weather dependent. They say do not exceed temperatures above 120 Fahrenheit and below 20 Fahrenheit, which it will be here within a month, so I gotta hurry doing this unboxing. And after that you get a little diagram showing you what is what on your rifle, and they do show some BB/pellet cartridges that are gold, so maybe that's the .177s, so you don't mix them up. They do mention that there is an Allen key for the CO2 in there. After that they give you some pretty interesting informations about the barrel options. So in .177 smoothbore you get around 550 to 600 FPS with BBs. In .177 but rifled you get around 420 to 525 FPS with pellets. So this is a bit sketchy for Canada. We will have to try with 7.4 grains because a bunch of guns are allowed here and are right around 500 FPS with those. So I don't know if that's possible or not. And last, the .22 caliber barrel should be around 370 to 410 FPS, but I've seen up to 480 with hobby pellets, so we will try that together. By the way, they say not to shoot BBs out of a rifled barrel after that, so yeah. Then you get a bunch of other warnings, and after that they tell you how to load the CO2. Let's try that together, I guess. I will press the button. It does clip. This is metal. This feels nice, very nice. Then in there you get a wrench that is clipped in there. You can then unscrew that, which is where the CO2 cartridges go. Once you got that out of there, you will put some pure silicone oil on the tip of your cartridge. Put one nose down in there and the other one nose up. The one that is facing nose up will be pierced by this, and the other one will get pierced by the valve when you fire it the first time. We will not be doing that today because it rains, but this is my first time using a rifle that has the cartridges on the back, so that should be pretty interesting. After that they tell you how to load it. Basically you insert the shells into the rifle. Let's try that just for fun. You will take one, insert it in there like that. That went in pretty nicely. I believe that I can insert another one like that. So we got two in there. So normally you will crank it, that will chamber one, I believe so. I think you gotta go more further like this. That will chamber one, and then whatever happened, I heard air and there is no CO2 in it. It would be cocked, but it is not really recommended to always dry fire a empty CO2 gun. So I will hold the hammer and let it go. That was weird. I'm not used to this rifle yet, so I'm explaining you things while I'm not even knowing how to do it. But yeah, so now this should eject the first shell in my face and chamber the next one, just like that. Then I will do the same thing. I believe you gotta hold that to be able to press the trigger. Yeah, I kinda, yep. That's not exactly how you decock it, but I think the hammer is not hitting too hard, so that's not too bad for your valve. And then it will eject another one, but this time in your face. By the way, that will cock it, so you cannot put the safety back on. Basically, you will take your pellet, shove them in the back of it, insert 10 of those in there, and then start shooting. That sounds pretty fun. We will try that together. Subscribe, stay tuned. Oh, so after that, they do confirm that the .177 pellet cartridges are gold, so this is not to get mixed up with calibers. You cannot cock the rifle while it is on safety, and you cannot see the sights while it is not cocked. Basically, they seem to say that you need the flip-up sights to shoot at longer range. Will that make sense? Oh! That kind of could make sense, because when you use it like that, you got some sights there, and if you flip that up like that, you got a peep sight that is a bit higher, but I believe that you can still use the sights on top. We will try that. I mean, I want to try it with the original sights, because some people really don't like the idea of having a red dot on a vintage flax, you know, old school rifle, but I don't really care. I mean, I will probably put a red dot on it anyways, but we will try that. Basically, how they phrase that is that the airgun comes with a fixed front and rear sight. It is aimed correctly when the front sight blade is evenly positioned with the notch in the rear sight. From shooting longer distance, you can flip the rear sight up to level the sights. You will then need to raise the nose of the rifle up. So yeah, that's pretty much what they are saying. So you got kind of two settings and a peep sight. So that's interesting. It is not adjustable though. Also, they tell you that you can remove the Picatinny rail with those two screws. You simply remove the screws, take it off, and put the screws back in. Then they talk about the two safeties. Basically, down is to fire. It does show red and white for safety. And there is also a grip safety. Basically, there is a little button down there that if you don't grab that while you try to fire it, it will not work. So there is two safeties. After that, they talk about basic maintenance. They tell you how to clear a jam and what not to do to not cause jam, like shooting when the CO2 is too low or using bad pellets. After that, they tell you how to clean the barrel. I assume that a patchworm kit will work in there. Don't quote me on it, but it looks pretty accessible. There is a rubber kind of looking gasket out here. Yeah, it is rubber, so you might want to be careful with that. So maybe not use a very big caliber, you know, color. But patchworm kits are also available from AirGunSource Canada. The hammer really doesn't seem to be hitting very hard, but that means more shot. I'm quite honestly not sure if the hammer is plastic or metal, but this seems to be plastic. I'm not quite sure if this is really the hammer after all. They tell you to oil the hammer and lever hinge points, but I'm not quite sure of exactly where. I do want to put some right there because it is most likely plastic and a rubbing area. I'm not exactly sure of where on the hammer. I will just put some on the side of it so it slides, I guess. I don't really know, man. That could be a bit clearer. Maybe the next page is for that. They don't really tell you, but yeah, you want to lube about everywhere that is rubbing. That will make everything last longer. This part seems to be metal. Most of it, other than that, seems to be metal. But yeah, basically the oiling procedure could be a bit clearer, and that made a huge difference, even though it felt great already. So yeah, keep it well lubricated and it should last longer. After that, they talk about the advanced maintenance. Basically, they don't tell you much more than to inspect it and to oil it often. Most manufacturers don't want you to take those apart, especially when still under warranty, so that's about it. On the last page, they have a bit of a troubleshooting guide. For example, if your problem is having no action, maybe your safety is locked, so you need to release the safety, or maybe there's not enough gas, so you need to replace the cartridge. You know, from the look of it, Barra might have one of the best customer service in 2024, but they don't really ship to Canada directly, so that's a bit of a pain. But they are really nice people. They did answer me for questions that I had about a Beeman, which is the equivalent of one of their models, but they did answer me and Beeman did not, so I'm pretty excited to try this beauty. It is looking really nice with the octagonal barrel in mostly metal with a faux wood stock that looks very good. But we will see how it does together. Hope you are excited for that. Subscribe for more. Thank you to AirGunSource Canada for making this possible. They sent me that and that and that just to show you guys. So give them some love. Make sure to check their website if you need anything airgun related in Canada, and I will see y'all in the next one. Pow!